friends, this is Raman Gill with a weekly Forex market analysis for the week of July 10th, 2016. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investing needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. Okay, so we'll start off by taking a look at our economic calendar to understand what news events are scheduled for this week, and then we'll get into the commitment of traders data to understand how the bigger players in the market are positioned, and finally we'll get into the technical analysis and we'll take a look at the charts and find some key levels for this week. Okay, looking at the Forex Factory calendar here, we start the week off very light here. We have Eurogroup meetings on Monday, then FOMC member George speaking. However, besides that, we don't have any red or major news coming out. We do have NAB business confidence number for Australian dollar in the Asian session. Going into Tuesday here, we have inflation report hearings for British pound. This is where Bank of England Governor Carney and several MPC members actually testify in front of Parliament's Treasury Committee. And the market will be looking to see what they have to say in regards to the monetary policy and how Bank of England is positioning themselves in view of the Brexit here. And then further into the New York session, we have FOMC member Bullard speaking. We have JOLTS job openings for the US dollar. Into the Asian session, we have Reserve Bank of New Zealand Assistant Governor McDermott speaking. And then finally, trade balance for China. Going into Wednesday, this is where things get interesting. We have Bank of Canada monetary policy report and rate statement here, as well as the interest rate. The interest rate is not expected to change at this point. However, in view of the oil and the market conditions, the market will be paying attention to what Canada is going to do, whether they're going to change, the Bank of Canada is going to change the interest rates, or what their view is on the monetary policy. So this will be very important, and it will create volatility in the market in regards to the Canadian dollar. We also have crude oil inventories here, which will again add volatility to Canadian dollar. So if you're trading any CAD pair, this will be very important. Going into the Asian session here, we have employment change and unemployment rate for Australian dollar. And Thursday here, we have Bank of England monetary policy statement, bank rate, and MPC official bank rate votes for the British pound here. So according to the Forex Factory calendar here, they're expecting an interest rate cut. However, the jury is out on this one. Some market participants are expecting an interest rate cut in this meeting. However, others are expecting a rate cut in the August meeting. So at this point, we'll keep an eye on this to see what happens here. If there is an interest rate cut, this will be negative for the British pound, and we can see volatility in the British pound as well as a drop in the British pound. So any of the British pound crosses will have a negative impact as a result of a rate cut. Going into the US session here, we have PPI numbers for the US dollar and unemployment claims for the US dollar. And into the Asian session, we have GDP number for China and industrial production number out of China here as well as an NBS press conference. And this will have an impact not just for the China here, but also on the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, as they are closely related to China and are export partners with China. Going into Friday here, again, we have a busy US session here. We have Bank of England Governor Carney. He will actually be speaking in Canada. Since this is right after the interest rate statement here, this will be a very important. Market will be paying a lot of attention to what Governor Carney says. We also have manufacturing sales for Canadian dollar and CPI and core CPI, which are the inflation numbers for the US dollar. We also have core retail sales and retail sales for the US dollar, and these numbers are important because they show the pace of the economy. And then we have preliminary consumer sentiment number, again an important number for the US dollar. Let's move on to the commitment of traders data. We start by taking a look at Euro US dollar here. Looking at the charts here, we see this green line is sloping downwards now, so which means the leverage money have actually added to their short position. So we have gone from 58,800 to 74,655 short positions. So this is a negative for the euro, as well as this asset managers, which is the red line here. They have added to their short positions as well. So overall, this is bearish for the euro. Moving on to the British pound here. For British pound, we see that the leverage money has actually increased their short positions. So we have gone from negative 14,274 short positions to 29,315 short positions. So this is quite an increase in the short positions. Again, this points to a negative British pound here. Moving on to the Canadian dollar, we see that leverage money have changed their positions from 8,916 to 4,793. So the short position in the Canadian dollar have actually decreased. This points to a bullish Canadian dollar, which means short for dollar CAD. Looking at the Australian dollar here, we actually see that the short positions for the leverage money have gone down completely. We have gone from negative 5,000 short position to positive 1,510. So we have gone from short positions to a net long position here for the leveraged money. This means that this would be bullish for Australian dollar. Moving on to the New Zealand commitment of traders data here, we see that the net long positions have actually increased. So we have gone from, for leveraged money, we have gone from 23,639 to 25,427 long positions. So they have added to their long position. This means that the bigger players are actually bullish on New Zealand dollar. We'll have a quick look at the Japanese yen here before we move on. For the Japanese yen, we also see an increase to the net long position. We have gone from 51,330 long positions for leverage money to 53,617. So that's an addition to the long side. Let's move on to the charts now. We're looking at British pound US dollar weekly chart here. So we had a nice drop in the British pound and the candle closed quite bearish here. So we're looking for a follow through in this. And in terms of a pullback, we could see a potential pullback into 13100 level here, which is the bottom of the pin. Moving on to the daily chart here, for the last couple of days, the British pound has been trading in this range here. However, we do have the interest rate statement coming out later in the week, and that could push the British pound. If there's no interest rate cut, we may see British pound move up. However, if the interest rate does get cut, we are likely to see a drop in the British pound. So in terms of some of the levels to watch out for here, 1.31 level, this 3100 level would be a good potential sell level. If the price stays below this 13100 level and we get a reversal pattern, this could give us a selling opportunity. And further up into this 3200 level, we could see the price come and reject at this level. If we get a deeper pullback here, 3200 level is another good level where we could look for a potential selling opportunity. Overall, I am bearish on British pound. However, do keep in mind that we have that interest rate statement coming out, so there could be a lot of volatility in the market in regard to the British pound. Moving on to the Euro US dollar here, we see that the price has just basically traded in this range for the last 2 weeks. Ever since Brexit, we haven't really gone anywhere. We pushed up and then price pushed down. And at this point, we are in this range here. We haven't actually broken the Brexit low. So at this point, we would treat it as a range bound market. And I would be looking for a potential opportunity to sell into this 111.80 level or into this 1200 level. So looking for a potential sell at 11200, and the target would be, the initial target would be 109 and then finally into 108.20, which is the bottom of this level here. Looking at the daily chart here, as we can see, this was the Brexit drop and then we had a pullback. Price went and rejected at this 1180 level, and now since then we have dropped a bit. For now though, we would look for a potential pullback into this 11188 level again. If the price comes and rejects here, that could provide us a selling opportunity. And looking at commitment of traders data as well, we see that more short positions have been added for euro, which is negative for euro as well. So we could see a potential selling opportunity into this level here. Dollar CAD here, looking at the weekly chart, we see that for the last few weeks we have been trading in this range and we haven't managed to break outside of this range yet. And hence we'll be trading this as a range bound market here as well. If the price goes towards 13200, that could provide us a selling opportunity if it stays below this. And if the price comes into 2650 in the bottom here, we'd be looking to buy at this level. Looking at the daily chart here, we see very clearly that the price has just been going sideways. Again, we are looking at top of this range at 13200 for a potential selling opportunity, and at the bottom here 12650 as a potential buy opportunity. Looking at New Zealand US dollar here, we have seen a very bullish close for New Zealand dollar on the weekly chart, which would suggest a further move to the upside. And also looking at the commitment of traders data, we saw that the long positions have been added for the New Zealand dollar, which again would suggest that we could see further strength in New Zealand dollar. So as such, we are looking for a pullback and then a potential buying opportunity. So if the price comes into this 0.7200 level, this top of the pin here, this support and resistance, which is very nice, we could see a potential buying opportunity if the price holds above. Or if we get a deeper pullback, we are looking into this 70-80 level right into here, this support and resistance here, for a potential buying opportunity here as well. So both of these levels, 7200 and 70-80 level, could provide us potential buying opportunity if the price does hold above these levels. Looking at the daily chart here, we saw a pin bar and then a very bullish engulfing candle and another engulfing candle here. We are running into this resistance up top here at 7300 level. So at this point, we are looking for a bit of a pullback into 7200 and then another push to the upside. And if the price breaks above the 7300 level, we are looking for a breakout trade to the upside. So in that sense, we are looking for a target of 74.50 here, which is the next level of support and resistance. So in case of a breakout here, we are looking for price to move to the 74.50 level as our target. Overall though, we are bullish on New Zealand dollar. Looking at Aussie US dollar here, between the New Zealand and Australian dollar, we have seen a New Zealand dollar being more bullish between the two. So in this case here for Australian dollar, we have been seeing a move to the upside, and now we are into 75.80 support and resistance level. If the price closes above this, we could see a trade going into 76.90 level here. This is a 7700 level. This is a nice support and resistance level. So overall, this looks bullish, and we could see either see a breakout or we could see a pullback and then a move to the upside. So looking at the chart here, we are in this range currently. In terms of a buying opportunity, 72.80 could be a good buying opportunity if the price stays above this level. However, if the price does break above 75.80 level here, we could see price move into the 7700 level, and then even further if we see continued bullishness. Between New Zealand and Australian dollar, though, New Zealand dollar is more bullish, so there may be an opportunity to take a short Aussie New Zealand position because of the disparity between the two pairs. So that's it for the analysis for today. If you are interested in learning profitable Forex trading strategies, I invite you to check out my course at tradingwithvenus.com/Forex course. As a part of this course, you will learn about candlesticks and candlesticks. You will learn about candlestick and chart patterns. We'll go through technical analysis and fundamental analysis. I will share with you my most profitable trading strategies that I use. We'll also take a look at trade management, equity and risk management. You'll also get access to a library of trade examples of my best trade setups. As a bonus, I will give you pivot point indicator, which is my go-to indicator. I'm offering this at a discounted price of $279 at the moment. If you would like to join the course, you can go to tradingwithvenus.com/Forex course. So that's it for today. I will see you next time.